Good morning, good morning. Wonderful Wednesday to you. Welcome to today's episode of Morning Wealth. Three things that we will talk about: cyclical rotation and a steeper yield curve, AT&T looking to raise $14 billion, and Euro's resilience. Markets were only modestly higher Tuesday, but beneath the surface, there are continued signs that investors are continuing to price in expectations of a firm economic recovery. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 60 points or 0.2%. The S&P 500 finished the day essentially flat. The Nasdaq gained 0.3%. Cyclical sectors that typically do best in an economic upswing led the way, including financials and energy stocks. In fact, materials, consumer discretionaries and industrials were also higher by about 1%. The Nasdaq Bank Index was up higher by 1.5% as bond yields continue to tick higher. Technology and communications were among the sectors that declined. Oil prices are on the rise as Saudi Arabia is cutting back production even as markets are anticipating a recovery in demand when the pandemic fades. The WTI was higher 1.7% to about $53 a barrel. In response, Occidental Petroleum rallied 12.7%, Apache Corporation rose about 11.2%, and Marathon Oil also gained about 9.8%. Treasuries edged up higher. The 10-year yields hit a 10-month high of almost 1.19 before dropping down to around 1.13. The dollar declined across the board with the pound and Aussie pacing the G10 gains. Gold was higher as well. Asian equity futures are slightly in the red. Growing chatter about the Fed tapering its bond purchases is fueling market speculation that the yield curve is poised for a period of supercharged steepening. The widely watched 2-10s curve has steepened every day this year and has climbed above 100 basis points, a level unseen since 2017. A couple of days ago, we spoke about T-Mobile raising about $3 billion in bonds. Word that AT&T is looking to raise about $14 billion makes the T-Mobile $3 billion in bonds look small. The company is in early talks with banks led by Bank of America over a 364-day delayed draw term loan with commitments due on Jan 27th is what's getting reported. The move comes as communication providers are amping up their bids in an expensive battle for 5G airwaves. An auction for spectrum, which still has several more rounds of bidding ahead, has now surged past $80.8 billion, well above the estimates of about $47 billion. On to FX. The US dollar gave back its gains amidst little economic data. There's talk that Federal Reserve may consider tapering sooner than previously suggested. With virus cases raging across the nation, it's far too early for this type of speculation. Still, Fed President Bostic continues to suggest that he's in that camp in saying that prices are stronger than expected. US inflation numbers are due for release tomorrow. CPI is expected to be stronger than expected with gas prices and average hourly earnings on the rise. This week's US economic reports should be firmer, keeping the possibility of a dollar recovery in play. Among all these moves, the resilience of euro is remarkable. The single currency ended the day higher against the US dollar and the Japanese yen, despite German Chancellor Merkel warning that the lockdown may last for 8 to 10 weeks. If the numbers don't improve. She reportedly told her Conservative Party counterparts that, quote, if we don't manage to hold off this British virus, we will have a 10-fold increase by Easter. The government also warned that there could be no travel till late May. Germany introduced lockdown measures in early November, but restrictions that include travel limitations, closure of schools and non-essential businesses were tightened this week. Lockdown until April all but assures another technical recession with a contraction in the fourth quarter of 2020 and the first quarter of 2021 likely. Euro should be much weaker, but it continues to be supported by virus optimism, low interest rates and persistent rally in stocks and lackluster demand for US dollar. We saw the same resilience in the fall when Euro USD shrugged off early signs of a second wave. Will the Euro US finally break down? Probably it may take a more meaningful correction in stocks to draw away risk on flows. Lastly, all three commodity currencies traded higher on Tuesday with the Aussie dollar leading the gains. No major economic reports were released from any of these countries, leaving dollar weakness and intraday recovery in stocks driving demand for those currencies. That's the update. Stay safe and healthy, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.